Hey guys, how's it going? I plan to do back-to-back two videos today because feeling a little better, and two videos is not gonna be like both are not actually fragrance reviews. My first episode today, it's gonna be sort of like I would say fragrance discussion, just going back to basics. Few common question that comes back over and over again because there are new people, new subscribers, new users. So for them, I'm doing this episode. If you want, you can watch this episode, and I'll try to keep it short. The second episode, I'm gonna be doing a request video. It's actually the review has been done in like last year somewhere when I was in Malaysia. I did a outdoor shoot, but I believe this fragrance deserve a full-on review. Pakoraban Puram. This is one of my most favorite manly powerhouse fragrances, and I'll talk about it in the second episode. If you are interested, keep watching. All right. So the topic we have today, it's if you want to watch a fragrance review, you can skip it absolutely. But if you want to watch, welcome. Okay, first discussion, first topic. We have three topics today. So the first topic, it's winter versus summer. What do I mean by winter versus summer? See, the thing is, fragrances are designer niche. There are a lot of classification. Designers niche. There's people say male, female. Also say summer versus winter, fall, autumn, different season they categorize, right? So thing is, why there's a reason for it. I would say you can wear whatever you want at whatever time, whatever convenience. I'm just gonna show you three different fragrances, and I'm gonna use them as example and to tell you why season is important, and you choose your fragrances based on seasons. See, when summer comes, you want to wear something very light and airy. Elements you would be looking for is a lot of citrus to play with, or you will be liking like oceanic accord, salty accord, something that is breezy, light, airy, soapy, right? And you look for them because they're easy wear. You don't want to choke yourself in super heat, super humidity, or sweating. You don't want to smell like heavy fragrance. People around you wouldn't like that note of oud or leather, or let's say incense, heavy notes. So even like Angelman, imagine Angelman. You don't want to wear Angelman in summer, trust me. Like Thierry Mugler Angelman, you don't want to wear it, trust me. But the thing is, at the same time, the same fragrance actually can be really beautiful if they're worn in the right time. So let me give you an example for summer, right? So this one fragrance, it's one of my favorite fragrances for summer. I showed this so many numerous times. And I'll tell you, this fragrance doesn't work in the winter. I put this on, or even in the air conditioning zone. I'm talking about Versace's Manu Fresh. Very simple example. This is basically based on lemon and a little bit cedar, and I believe musk. Yeah, it's very a lot of citrus in this. This is very close to Dolce and Gabbana light blue, Paco Rabanne black excess, those kind of fragrances. But this is very light, citrusy fragrance. This one doesn't have any powderiness, creaminess, vanilla, all those things. And if you put this on in the air conditioning zone, it doesn't really last or project that much. I was really pissed off. I was like, this one doesn't last even half an hour. Why would I buy this? But surprise, surprise, I came to Bangladesh, super duper heat, hot and humid weather. I put like 6 sprays of this just to see what happens. And trust me, this was projecting like a beast for hours. So that's where the magic happens, that if you choose the right season, fragrance actually do their wonders, and then they work in particular those times. So choose your time properly, right? So Versace Manu Fresh, just an example. A lot of other fragrances, they also work. But this one, if you misunderstood the fragrance, it's not the fault of the fragrance, it's your fault, right? So summer, that's kind of example. Then coming to winter, last winter I found this fragrance that was I started my journey with, sort of my what do you call, the video started happening from home in the winter time. I was very excited. I got this one to myself, one man show oud edition. I was really into Jacques Bogart house, and these Jacques Bogart house is basically it's more of winter and heavy winter heavy fragrances. They all have leather, oud and whatnot, very strong masculine fragrances. This stuff, nowadays people ask me sometimes, Joy, where is your oud edition? Where is your Jacques Bogart? You forgot them? No, I didn't. Right now in Bangladesh, I tell you, out of the 12 months we have, 8 months are supremely hot and humid, and those 4 months we get, about out of those four, like November to February, I think end of February or so, we get sort of like winter. Last 2 months we get sort of like good winter, like 16, 15. That time it's ideal. Fragrances last on you, you don't sweat, you can walk around, you don't have to take rickshaw, you can just walk to places. It's so comfy. So out of those 8 months, this 4 months, actually you can wear fragrances like this. And I will say, I'm gonna wear it. If I'm okay, if I'm alive, I will wear the heck out of this in the upcoming winter. These are winter heavy. This is oud edition. This has beautiful sweet oud in this, and amber, a lot of amber in this. Okay, and it's really fruity, very beautiful. It will surprise you. It will catch you off guard, and how well it performs. Okay, you pull this off in summer, exactly opposite story. You're gonna be maybe vomiting. You might throw up because the overpoweringness in this, in the heat, it doesn't work. So yes, this is strictly winter fragrance. And then there's third category that are versatile throughout the whole year. I would say they work summer, winter, and in the middle, autumn, fall, all year round. You just need that one bottle that it's versatile. And fragrance ideal example, I couldn't think of any other better example than this one, Sauvage. This stuff, like in Malaysia, I used it. I bought this. I had the small bottle, and I was really disappointed. I'm like, what is this? It doesn't really. I cannot detect it after 1 hour or so because, and I was supremely disappointed. I paid like near $200, for, I think, no, not $100 for the 60 ml. I paid like no, I paid like I think $65 or so, which is still very expensive, $100 per 100 ml. And for Dior release, I was really disappointed because all my other Diors like Fahrenheit, Dior Intense, they're all supremely good performer. But I was like, I came to Bangladesh and I came in the winter time again, and I put this on, and I went to my friend's house. You guys know, if you don't know, I tell you the story again. I went to my friend's house, and he said he can detect it after 5 days after I left. So it left a nice scent trail sort of like on the sofa, on the room. And when I went past, people noticed it. And I really, at that time, last winter, Bangladesh, Sauvage wasn't that big. I kept talking, and then I noticed that people started loving Sauvage here. I'm not taking the credit, by the way, but I'm telling you, Sauvage wasn't that big or well known in the last November. Since the last 1 year, this became huge. People know this is like a household name. People are wearing it everywhere. You smell this everywhere. So this now, I would say almost 80% people, 85% people that I encountered, they said this performs superbly on them. People get a lot of notice, a lot of compliments and whatnot. And I can see that because in the summer, the thing is this fragrance, there's something weird about it. After 1 hour or so, you cannot detect it on yourself. But this one leaves such a nice ambroxan note, like this is nice scent trail. It leaves and other people can detect it on you. And it works better in winter, in my opinion, on me. Okay, I get much longer performance from this and Aventus, both. But in summer also this works. So sometimes you have to choose what is your preference. You can look for versatile all year round scent, or you can look for strictly winter or summer. But make sure, you check your season first. Don't blame a fragrance based on the performance if you didn't get it, but you didn't check which season it's supposed to be meant for. See a lot of reviews, see Fragrantica, it will give you very good idea. All right, so that was the first topic. Second one, I'm gonna say shelf life. People asked me recently, even today, I think brother Ranjit asked me, he asked me like, brother, what about Arma fragrances? They have a shelf life for 3 years. After that, what happens? Is it expired? So I answered this question so many times, but I'll tell you again because people are still coming in the game, new people, and a lot of people who are curious about this. Fact is, there's no such thing as shelf life. It's just a generic number. It's already been cleared out many times by many reviewers, but so far I'll just tell you one experience. I had a CK1 200 ml bottle in Malaysia, and I used to keep it in my car. Malaysia was supremely hot. You go outside, if you leave the perfume in your car, it's gonna be in the supreme heat. I didn't know anything about fragrances back then, so I just kept them in the car just to refresh every now and then. You guys do it all the time, right? But after the 15 years, mark, I left that one, CK1 and Dunhill Desire Red, both in Malaysia. I had about this much juice left on each. What my experience was, they were still fine. I could smell them and they're fine. I was just, wow, I give up. So it depends entirely on your luck. Sometimes I would say fragrance do go bad, but it's hard. It's just hard luck. You're just like unlucky. So I would suggest you keep them away from the sun, preferably keeping in the box, away from the direct light, in any sunlight or any light. Don't put them next to the sun where the light can go straight to the fragrance through the bottle, and it will actually, they're highly likely it can go bad. And I would give you one other suggestion, that is, don't keep them in the bathroom, where there's a lot of the heat up and down. There are chances it might go bad. Then I would say Steven Radolescence, he also mentioned this beautiful point that when the bottle is sort of like running low, like it's a very I'll give you an example. Okay, here, my platinum egoist. Okay, my bottle is less than half full, I guess, or closer to half. This kind of bottles where there's a huge number of air, like a huge amount of air inside, that actually poses bigger risk for the fragrance to go bad. So I suggest you use it up regularly, more frequently. So you use it up before it goes bad. If there's more air, it's likely it might go bad. Likely, not sure, not a given thing. Okay. The last one I would say is if you possible, if it's possible, keep the fragrances. If you're not using them, just put them back in your cupboard or something. Don't let them be exposed again in the light. Okay, so if you're not using them, put them back in the packaging and wait for the season to come. All right, so that's the shelf life. Usually fragrances, they last forever. The last one is male or female. This one point, it's very important. I'll try to finish it with this point. Male versus female. Yes, sometimes you'll see it's the companies, they do that. Pour homme, pour femme, or they don't write anything. It's meant for unisex. Sometimes they say fragrance like, I'll give you an example from my collection. I would say Midnight in Paris. It's supposed to be a unisex fragrance. So when you see for male on female, people automatically in Bangladesh, I noticed people are like, hey, you're wearing, for example, this fragrance. I said I put this one as a scent of the day. Okay, flower bomb. And people are like, hey, isn't that a female fragrance? Why are you wearing female fragrances? What's wrong with you? Okay, so this is one thing you need to learn. Every time there's new things to learn. There's no such thing as male or female fragrances. You wear what you want to wear. That is the biggest truth and biggest thing you need to know. If something smells nice to your nose, pick it up. You can use it even if it's a wife fragrance or perfume. You like Chanel No. 5, you like J'adore by Dior, wear it. Don't wait for people's opinion. People are different. They have different sexual orientation. Some like very masculine, strong, potent fragrance. Some like metrosexual of La Nuit de l'Homme. Some people like sort of something like Bleu de Chanel, safe fragrance. So not everybody is expected to wear the same thing or like the same thing. That is a fact. So when you actually follow other people, so you're just becoming their mule, aren't you? You're becoming sort of like a, sort of like a goat that's following the I don't know what do you call that guy that leads our shit. There you go. Anyway, so thing is, my ultimate point, what I'm trying to say, the summary is, wear what makes you happy. Any fragrance that you find you like, you just wear it, no problem. Don't be ashamed of yourself, because every nose is different, every person is unique, and every person's choices are different. It can be niche, it can be designer, it can be anything you want. And if you really enjoy wearing something, even in the, let's say for example, you're wearing oud in the hot weather. Many people do that, right? There's nothing wrong with it, I don't think, but don't do it to a certain extent that it becomes torture for people. Don't put like anything that contains wood, like, okay, let's say Interlude Man by Amouage, last example. Don't put 6 sprays of Interlude Man in a board meeting where it's supremely hot day, or in the lift in a hot summer day. You get the idea. Don't put Angelman, Amen in the hot summer day, like 7 sprays. That is torture. That's where you're doing wrong. Wear it, make sure you're not offending anybody, you're not stepping into anyone's personal space or comfort level, then you're good to go. I hope I could make all the points clearer. So now let's focus in the review in the next episode. Take care guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.